Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Tuesday's video. This one is going to be focusing on my puzzle, my updated puzzle, my state of the Battlerealm, whatever you want to call it. I've had a few thoughts, and as well we are a bit further down in the year of 2021, so I think it's only apt to give an update of who I think is coming into the game and fills those pesky question marks. And on screen right now is my completed state of the Battlerealm update, but we're going to go over who I've added in, what I've changed, and talk through the process. Just down there is Nimrod. Over to the far left hand side is Kingo and Gilgamesh, I think, or Gilgamesh even, and Kingo, who are members of the Eternals. Now, what I'm really thinking with the Eternals, and I do think Kabam will do something in accordance with it and with its release, but still with the uncertainty of COVID, but as well everything is opening up, I just don't feel, because this year Kabam haven't done any specific MCU likeness. The Scarlet Witch sigil didn't look exactly like the one that was in WandaVision, Elizabeth Olsen's new outfit. The same thing with Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi looks nothing like Sima Yu, so I kind of, or Sima Lee, I can't remember, I think it's Sima Yu. So I kind of feel that, yeah, Don Lee and Kamal Nanjiani, who I think will be amazing actors and will, you know, they will amazingly portray the characters. I just don't think that Kabam will put their likenesses into the game. I think that they'll probably put those. And again, as I said, I base this on the fact that Kabam haven't done this thus far. But yes, we had a Black Widow Deadly Origin last year, and yes, we had Red Guardian, but as I said, Sima Yu's version of Shang-Chi is not coming to Marvel Contest of Champions. Will some others come in? I think they will do, but I don't think Kabam are in the position. They have the MCU versions, they're just not putting it in for some reason. Now, I did put Nimrod, but it's very likely we could see a Mega Sentinel. That was the second place of the Summoner's Choice, but I think that that may be something that will be next year as opposed to this year, with Hercules coming in this summer, and as well as being pretty much hyped by Kabam on the subject. But Nimrod, I think, fits quite well as being like a champion that goes off from Sentinel, and more than likely could be this, but hey, you know, Kabam have put in some very weird things. It could be a character that is either being hunted by Sentinels or have some kind of like link in some way, or some kind of weird robotics month, which, let's face it, Kabam do put in red herrings, so it could be absolutely anybody. Now, in the lower left hand corner, I've put two Marvel Contest of Champions logos. Why have I done that? Because Kabam created characters. Back nearly a couple of weeks ago, Gabriel Fazera, if you don't know, is the art director for Marvel Contest of Champions, put out a tweet saying that he was creating two original characters and confirming that maybe one of those would have associations with Aegon. So basically, in this kind of thought, I feel that because it's the left-hand corner of a lot of Kabam created characters normally go, although there have been some exceptions this time, this may be a good opportunity to say, like, hey, we're going to get two new characters. Just over to the left, we've got Kate Bishop. Why is that important, and why does that link to Gwenpool? Well, there has been a story arc where she's been included in. I feel with the way that Kabam, Marvel, and as well MCU and the TV series, they're kind of pushing the new Avengers. And if they're pushing the new Avengers, it does lead to younger versions of the Avengers, or kind of like sons and daughters, as well as protégés, which is why Wiccan and as well Iron Lad are going to be very important to what's going to be going on with Marvel Contest of Champions, in my opinion. And that's the thing. Initially, I thought because Scarlet Witch sigil was just out there, she could be the one that links Vision and as well Scarlet Witch, but that's not the case. Wiccan is indeed one of those key characters that I think will play a big part in being in the MCU. We heard something right at the end of WandaVision, which I believe was one of these, in particular Wiccan speaking to Wanda, so I think there could be more to meets the eye, and as well setting up things like the new Avengers with Iron Lad, which in Marvel Contest of Champions, Iron Lad and Kang the Conqueror have also had this kind of relationship that has existed in a trailer that was dropped in December 2020. And more on that in a minute, because we're going over the left hand side. Over the left hand side, I've got Mandorin linking to Death Dealer. The more that I thought about it, the association with those two being close to the likes of the Iron Fist has somewhat of a link, even though it's like it's the Defenders placement. Kabam will change out the state of the Battlerealm, so literally like everything is just changed about and juggled. However, I think because Mandarin and Death Dealer do factor into what's going to be going on with Shang-Chi, they kind of felt like they would link quite nicely together. And as well, you might be wondering to yourself, where's Shang-Chi? Well, he's right up the top, and the reason he's at the top is, as we've seen in some comic book history, is that he defeated Hyperion. Hyperion had the Phoenix power, the Phoenix Force, but it was too powerful for him. It kind of overloaded him, and as a result, it meant that Shang-Chi won. I just kind of feel like that's a good link. It's a clever little link that Caban may have put in to have it there, and I don't think a lot of these question marks have these champions associated. So, like, I don't think that Mr. Negative is going to be next to Shang-Chi and linked, because there will be more to these stories and more to the red herrings and confusion that Caban want to create in order to make us go, it's definitely that, isn't it? And it turns out it's no, it isn't. Now, I'm not going to rule out that Caban aren't trying to tell us that Morgan Le Fay and Morbius may be coming to the game at a later date, especially with, you know, good hype that's currently out at the moment for a respective film, and also based on the fact that a lot of players and a lot of people really like Morgan Le Fay as a character. So, what else could fit? Well, as you saw, I've put a couple of spider-based people. And I kind of think because of the Punisher 2099 link and having something that expands that universe, whether or not it's Doctor Doom 2099 or is indeed what I think it could be, which is Spider-Man 2099. And Spider-Man 2099, as well as the Iron Spider, are two final Spider-Verse-based characters that players would like to see. I also think because the release of the Spider-Verse sequel, which does feature Spider-Man 2099, Caban may want to capitalise on that particular situation. They didn't really do that when it came to Spider-Ham, but let's face it, nowadays there may be more communication to cover these type of characters and release them in the game, especially next year, when the sequel comes in and maybe the stuff with the pandemic is over. Either way, I think this section is the most difficult, and there's going to be either a lot of red herrings, a lot of confusion, a lot of Caban original characters, and by the end of it, when everything's released and we know what's coming in, we're probably going to go like, oh wow, okay, and then we look forward to next year when I try and piece together everything. Over on the top, now this is something to really explain because this could go any which way. With Jabari Panther recently added into the game, which I personally do not like the look of, because there's various different Marvel Realm of Champions gear sets that look so much better than this version. It does leave me questioning which could be the characters that could feature in the top. Also, quick sidetrack. I think that, and I didn't put this in this particular point, but when I do the thumbnail I probably will differ. I think that Hercules may be this particular red question mark here. So that's kind of like where I think he's going to factor in, if you're kind of wondering through this video, like, why hasn't he mentioned Hercules? He's coming to the game. That's where I think he'll probably be. Farthest left hand corner, especially to make it quite significant, and that kind of red being a thing. And now back to the subject of the Black Panthers. Now, I would personally hope, but I don't know if Caban would do this, so I'm kind of like 50-50 on this as a premise, which is why I've got several other premises as well as to who it could be or who would be in that question mark. I'd love to see a Chadwick Boseman, even like a Black Panther suit with no mask, cowl, helmet, whatever you want to like say that it is, and maybe some kind of like reactive purple trim on the suit, but I don't think it will be, especially with the way that other suits are out there. And I think that and it would be kind of like great to mark Chadwick Boseman and his passing. Big up to the people that have been rocking the Black Panther Civil War profile photo for the profile pic for the last year on their accounts, like myself. It's always nice to see it and know that people are still thinking about Chadwick every time they may see an image of him, and as well, a Black Panther kind of like t-shirt, movie poster, and as well, Wakanda Forever. So gets you in the feels. But look, is it going to be something like a Shuri? Would it be a Black Panther Shuri? I've got to be honest, I'd be down for it. I think that it's fantastic. Like recently with the comic book run, because I think there's been a Shuri comic book, it's great to see the kind of build here. I'm not too sure about whether or not they put in the MCU version. I think is it Letitia? I think it's. I wouldn't say it's Letitia or something like that. Would they do that version? I don't know. I kind of feel like it more fits to be Okoye, especially with the recent champion vote. So I kind of feel it would be Okoye. So that could be the most logical suggestion for that to be. Now, right at the top, we've got Nathaniel Richards, Iron Lad. For a lot of people who don't know, the connection with Kang the Conqueror and Iron Lad, this image on screen now is taken from the trailer of December 2020. So that's going to be quite a pivotal and important thing, especially how maybe Act 7.2 ends, with stuff being about Gwenpool, and maybe how like Act 7.3 goes in, and the future of the contest. It's going to be quite important to figure out who, why, what, and all that stuff. We've got a big-ass dinosaur that is unknown to us who it actually belongs to, so that's something as well to consider down the line. But I kind of feel that because we are going in a new direction of the new Avengers, with Wiccan teased in WandaVision, with Kate Bishop in Hawkeye, and as well with there's rumour that in Ant-Man 3 that there is going to be either Kang the Conqueror, but more importantly, but that's not rumour, that's definitely going to be happening, but not Iron Lad. Well, some people have said it's Iron Lad, some people have said it's something else, but you know, rumour at the end of the day with that. But I just think that's a good narrative to spin, especially when you've got images like this and you see Wiccan front and centre. I mean, yeah, we don't have Hulkling, but I kind of feel like if Kabam go down that route, it would be pretty cool. Now we're going down to the end, we're nearly at the end. And I've got here all the things that are linking the various different symbiotes linking into Anti-Venom. Yes, Anti-Venom. Something that I did discuss in a recent video about the idea that that could link quite nicely from Mr. Negative being on kind of like the regen type synergy. We've got two synergies that are completely unknown at the moment, which is one with Falcon and one with Mr. Negative, which a lot of people are saying because Mr. Negative like cured Eddie Brock's cancer, Venom's cancer, that then it turned him into Anti-Venom. So that was that's the thing, right? Could be that. So do look out for potentially anything changing with that. And down below, I've kind of got Psycho Man here because I think it links quite well with Invisible Woman, but anything could really drop with this. There's also a few other kind of random based characters which have got these kind of eyes, and I just think that's going to be more important to the story narrative of what's going on with the game. But it's always good to see these question marks to kind of draw your conclusions. And then right at the very bottom, I've got Galactus. I'm keeping Galactus there because I just think like it's the thing that links the Heralds. I mean, Kabam could be like, nah, it's not, and completely like change the story narrative. But I just think that Galactus is a pivotal point. And as well, why have I put Frankie, Raye, Nova? Well, I just think it's the link. The way that the characters are kind of shaped together in their sort of impromptu kind of weird romance and connection. I just think that this actually may be one of the best links out there and be more of a stronger tie. Number one, as Frankie Ray's Nova is a herald of Galactus, which is always very interesting. But as well, the way that they had some sort of relationship is kind of weird, especially for being heralds to have such a close bond. And imagine that, some kind of story narrative that pits them both against one another, or could be something of a nice link in the whole kind of Heralds of Galactus story weave with Galactus himself. But who really knows? I thought this little kind of pairing here was actually quite a nice one, and I think it kind of fits really nicely into this. If Kabam have written a nice little love story between them that kind of involves Galactus and Heralds of Galactus, then do you know what? I think I'd be quite interested in that month. Maybe make that more of a February thing, like a beautiful romantic story. I'd even write it myself and make it absolutely bloody beautiful. With all slushy rainbows and puppies and ooh. Then make something atrociously horrible happen because really I'm evil. Only kidding, I wouldn't dare. I'm just weird. Also, for those that don't know, I did miss off one. Yes, below Colossus, there's a question mark. What do I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be Warpath. Warpath links because there are a few stories that link together. Storm, Wolverine and Colossus, in particular the giant size X-Men story arc. There's some stories in there that kind of like factor in that. I think that's what it is. But it could be absolutely anybody. What are your thoughts on my suggestions? Do you have your own suggestions? What do you think are in some of these question marks? Put it in the comment section down below. And as well, thank you very much for watching this video. And check out some other content posted up here. Some fresh stuff, some fresh takes and all that things. And I'll see you all very soon for some other videos. Maybe some guides or whatnot. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.